So yeah, 57-23 victory there. 57-23 victory there for the All Blacks over Fiji, and I think not too many of us would have expected otherwise. Definitely would have anticipated and expected New Zealand victory there. But I must say, right, that the scoreline perhaps just a bit flattering for the All Blacks because I really, really think that Fiji came to play. Right. So just quickly looking at the first half, I think, yeah, Fiji once again were up for the game. Maybe excitement, but definitely up for the game. They brought very good physicality, but also more in particular, what they did very well, they were able to slow down the New Zealand ball, right? I think they by far won the breakdown contest right throughout the game, right? Forcing a couple of penalties, and a couple of vital turnovers. And I think just from the Fiji management perspective, I think they'll be going back, when they're analyzing and be very chuffed with that, very happy with that, because what tends to happen is most nations tend to try and match the All Blacks on D by ensuring that they've got numbers. So they don't tend to, to send in too many players to the breakdown. But the Fijians, they were sending in players, yes, in as much as they got nailed for it. At times, I think very harsh calls from the ref. But alas, right, I think Fiji in general were fantastic at the breakdown and definitely succeeded in slowing, at least initially, down the New Zealand ball. And we saw sort of the New Zealand guys getting frustrated in the first half. But I think what sets New Zealand apart is the fact that this couple of opportunities that they actually got right in that first half, they were able to put away, right? 4 visits in the opposition 22, and they were able to score 3 tries, right? And that's just what is set. Well, that's how they've been sort of able to stay ahead of the majority of their opponents. Just their ability to convert. They've got an exceptional conversion rate. But I think, yeah, Fiji were fantastic, fantastic on D, physical, brought it to them, right? And the All Blacks, yeah, the All Blacks being the All Blacks, they started very well. David Havili looked very good in the 12th jumper, initially scoring 2 very good tries, very good, strong, physical player, but equally, adapt, letting the ball go. And I thought, New Zealand played quite well, utilizing Rico Ione sort of as the focal point in their attack in the back line, right? But yeah, New Zealand clinical, winning the first half, but I think it was an equal contest. And just going to the second half, Fiji tried very well. There was a spell there where Fiji had, the tails up, 8-point difference, 14 men playing against 14 men New Zealand. When Havili just got the yellow card, and all of a sudden you thought maybe an upset is on the cards. Yeah, Fiji looking bright, Fiji looking good, right? Got the ascendancy, but unfortunately, his experience of Dan Cole's coming through once again. New Zealand keeping it simple, going to set piece, line out, and as a result, Dan Coles was able to score 3 tries from the preceding mauls, and a very good, sort of individual, well up, being able to spot the loose ball, kicking it over, and able to dart over. But I think also, if I had to pick sort of the standout player, I think Johnny Dyer in the 6th jumper for Fiji was fantastic right throughout the game. I think it was massive when it came down to the breakdown, just slowing down the New Zealand ball, but also affecting a couple of turnovers. Equally, Lavani, Potia, the Mercurial, the captain, I think he led from the front today and was massive. And once again, I need to make this known. It would have been interesting. I would have loved to see Rodradra in this game. For a moment it was tight, and you're just wondering, what if Rodradra is the one who's got the ball in that situation? It could have been a different outcome. But all in all, I think a very good showing there from Fiji, and I think from just the management perspective, they'll hold their head up high. Met the New Zealand side well physically, matched them, but the experience of being able to bring in Sam Whitelock, Brody Retallick, coming back to sort of playing his rugby, But also, I think the difference was then also being the ability of New Zealand to bring in a Damian McKenzie and a Will Jordan, right, would just add a lot more energy, right? And that's when we saw New Zealand being able, once the Fijians got tired, New Zealand being able to exploit to the outside, get on the outside, right, and get behind the Fijians and put plenty of pressure on them. But yeah, I think all in all, also Hoskins Tutu was solid, right? A couple of very good carries in midfield, hitting up the ball, right? Didn't get too much space, but I think in the tight he did very well. But yeah, all in all, I think once again, what sets New Zealand apart from most nations, we saw it on display once again. Just, the ability to do the simple things well. And once you are able to do that, you're able to then ensure that the chances that you get in a game, you are able to convert. And that's exactly what we saw today. But all in all, I think it was an equally, it was a good game, equally matched teams from a physical perspective. It's just perhaps New Zealand just having that upper hand when it just comes to just being clinical and being able to utilize the opportunities they got. But yeah, from my side, thank you. Thanks once again for tuning in. All right. Yeah, All Blacks walking away there with the victory. But from my side, I thank you very much for tuning in.